It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake.
Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? Ask me. Everybody wonder why my smile is so deep. Everybody wonder why my eyes sparkle. Everybody always asks me, why you smiling when you dance? Because you don't understand the live through. It's worth it to smile. And I'm still smiling, and I'm gonna continue to smile. And majority of y'all who continue to ask me and gonna tell me that I'm pointing fingers to kiss my natural black me with that Bye! And when it comes out, don't come running back. I shouldn't have to get this nitty gritty for people to wake up. I shouldn't have to say something like that for you to be like, oh, she's probably telling the truth. It is pathetic that people gotta go here. It's pathetic that it's gonna take somebody to say it was me for somebody to understand. I'm gonna stop yelling.
Called HIV like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
An advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
If you thought hip-hop's darkest secrets would never come to light, prepare to be proven wrong. Tonight, Jaguar Wright pulls some of the industry's biggest names out of the shadows, portraying Diddy's alleged freak-off parties as dangerous spaces where silence wasn't just bought, it was enforced. According to this account, major stars didn't just risk their careers, but possibly their lives. When rumors about A-listers allegedly contracting HIV from the same man are said to be confirmed by a fearless insider, denial no longer feels like protection, it feels like a curse. This is more than a list. It's a blacklist. If you ever believed all your icons were untouchable, buckle up, because their secrets are finally being dragged into the open. We've all heard the whispers that every after-party hides dirt, but nothing ever fully surfaces. Tonight, Jaguar Wright takes center stage, ready to tear through the industry's wall of silence. She doesn't just hint at the truth, she claims to expose it. And according to her, Diddy's infamous parties weren't just rumors. Her words land like an indictment.
I mean, he actually caught HIV like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
An advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able.
Feel that chill? It's not just the star power. It's the sick realization that the playlist on your phone might read like a redacted CDC report. How many of your idols are allegedly on that list? And what's the real reason they would do absolutely anything to keep the spotlight from turning in this direction? You've watched the headlines for years, but tonight, the names are starting to feel real. No PR team and no hush money can save them now. If you're already questioning everything you thought you knew about your favorite stars, buckle up, because what Jaguar says next doesn't just threaten careers, it threatens legacies. It's one thing to be caught up in Hollywood's darkest secrets. It's something else entirely, she suggests, to become the recruiter, hand-picking the next major name to be fed into the machine. Jaguar alleges that this happened with two of the biggest names in pop culture. According to her, Usher didn't burn the bridge behind him. He allegedly led Justin straight into the lion's den to protect himself. This isn't framed as a story of rivalry or mentorship. It's presented as self-preservation at its darkest, passing down not just fame and industry access, but trauma, baggage, and risk.
I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They not seeing the victim. They not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of tool do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what else do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids.
It's no wonder, the speaker suggests, that Justin is having problems in his marriage. According to this narrative, anyone dealing with something that humiliating would struggle. And if you think only younger stars get caught in this twisted cycle, think again. Sometimes the biggest casualties are the pioneers themselves, hip-hop royalty. When the industry is done with you, isolation isn't a mistake. In this telling, it's the final brutal step in the cover-up. Hollywood loves a comeback story, but it loves a scapegoat even more. Craig Mack was once celebrated as the artist who helped put Bad Boy on the map. But what happened when he became inconvenient? According to Jaguar, Diddy didn't just abandon him. He left him broken, desperate, and sick, while the rest of the industry looked away. Craig Mack, in this version of events, didn't just lose his place in the spotlight. He lost hope and health too, eventually dying abandoned in a cult, allegedly after contracting AIDS at the same parties that were supposed to make him a star.
You know, the next thing is, man, Craig Mack was the one that jumped Bad Boy off. And and it got so bad that Craig Mack, who died from AIDS, that man, he got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong. The man went to South Carolina and joined a cult with his family until he died of AIDS a few years ago. The man refused service for AIDS. And the cold part about it, man, if y'all go check the video, right? At one point, he was going to try to delete Diddy. Some say that Diddy might have had something to do with hooking him up with the girl that gave him the alphabet. And Craig Mack refused any funeral arrangements from Bad Boy, in the wake of his death. It's bad when somebody go and join a cult. The same thing happened to Loon. The same thing happened to Mace. Everybody's seeking religion, man, when they messing with Bad Boy.
And Craig Mack's story is only the beginning. The deeper you dig, the more it seems there was an entire underground network. Stars, insiders, and blue-check influencers who were not just witnesses to the spiral, but active participants helping keep the system alive. But this is where the story gets even darker. For every legend allegedly left behind, there was another line of insiders ready to take their place, not out of ignorance, but out of calculation and self-interest. The sickness of the system, in this narrative, isn't just what was hidden. It's the people who kept the cycle turning while pretending to be heroes online. In a world ruled by blue checks, clout isn't just currency, it's cover. Ally Carter, according to the speaker, knows that firsthand. She isn't speaking in vague terms. She's naming names and describing the same faces that trend on social media by day while allegedly participating in Diddy's parties by night.
Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? Oh, the celebrities get their way. Chrissy Teigen knows about that. Everybody knows about her. John Legend knows about that. Denzel Washington knows about that. Oprah knows about that. Ellen knows about that. Sandra Bullock knows about that. Unfortunately, after a second, Melissa McCarthy knows about that. Jimmy Kimmel knows about that. Does everybody want to leak names? The list goes on. You know, it'll tell you who doesn't know because they were the ones, so adamant. They were the ones filling the social media all April, March, February, and January over who was that again? Oh wait, that was no one. Because, hashtag Me Too went viral. The celebrities that have been pushing, the blue checkmark people that have been big since the beginning, not just when it became a...
It's one thing to hear whispers. It's another thing entirely to watch authorities raid properties and collect evidence themselves. When you look at the scale of what was reportedly seized at those parties, it starts to feel like more than scandal. It feels like organized depravity. When federal agents raided Diddy's properties, the suggestion here is that they didn't just uncover party favors. They allegedly found mountains of evidence pointing to something far more coordinated and systemic.
You realize
We only speculated that investigators collected electronic evidence, but now we know for sure. According to the indictment against Diddy, investigators seized more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from his home. The court doc states these items were used in something referred to as freakoffs, which were elaborate and produced performances that Combs arranged, directed, during, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial across state lines.
This, the speaker says, is the proof, undeniable evidence that it wasn't just one reckless night or a few lost souls. It was a machine allegedly built to feed power, compliance, and blackmail. But physical evidence is only one side of the story. The real gut punch comes from the claim that many of the world's most recognizable faces allegedly kept showing up at these gatherings, not just as occasional guests, but as regulars in scenes the public was never meant to see. For years, Diddy's so-called Black Book has been treated like holy grail material by gossip outlets. But few are willing to say out loud what Brother Bilal now claims openly, that Will Smith, yes, the Fresh Prince himself, wasn't just present, but a fixture. Bilal also alleges that he saw Will Smith and Dwayne Martin deeply involved at Diddy's gatherings, living what he describes as double lives. According to this account, these weren't isolated appearances. They were repeated visits to a world where secrets were currency and silence was job security.
this was job security.
Then I saw that I went on the couch and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Like murder.
And if you think public denial automatically signals innocence, the speaker argues otherwise. Pointing to Will Smith's strong onstage rejection of even a hint of the allegations, this moment is framed not as proof of innocence, but as a defensive reaction that, in their view, says more than a confession ever could.
I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all that.
But not everyone who survives those shadowy circles comes out richer or stronger. For some, the cost is much steeper, a lifetime of regret, pain, and public unraveling that no amount of hush money can fix. You might wonder what happens to people who give up everything believing fame, or at least Diddy's approval, will make them untouchable. According to this narrative, YK Osiris found out the hard way that it doesn't work like that. The claim is that he did everything the system demanded and still ended up rejected, lost, and publicly spinning out. When he broke down on Instagram Live and the industry dismissed him as just another emotional casualty, the speaker argues that people missed the deeper truth.
Family calling, man, I need this, fuck body. This shit is not right. So what the even for? Like, why the is Earth for? Like, why, like, Osiris, why you haven't even, like, this crash, like, this do something that like, at this point, it's like, why on this Earth still? Like, why you still, like, why the hell you on this Earth? Why, when nobody you? It's like, you don't have nobody, like, all you on this Earth for? I can't even see my kids. Like, what the haven't made no music. I haven't made no money for music in like two and a half years.
With the big players, risking your life, dignity, and future doesn't buy loyalty. You can do everything right, by the system, and still never receive the promised rewards. If you want proof the game is rigged, the speaker says, look at Osiris. And every time the mask slips and someone dares to call the system what it is, the machine doesn't just ignore them. It brands them unstable, crazy, or a joke. According to this telling, that isn't accidental. It's the industry's final line of defense. Osiris, the speaker says, called it first and called it loudest. This industry is the devil's playground. He tried to warn everyone that what happens behind closed doors isn't just exploitation, it's organized evil. But instead of listening, the gatekeepers laughed, rolled their eyes, and wrote him off as a crash-out or a lunatic. Still, the speaker urges the audience to pay attention to what he actually said.
It is, man. This industry is not what you think it is. Don't let these people fool you, man. Before in this social media, I'm gonna give y'all a little background of me, man. Like, my life is not perfect, man. Don't think because I'm on Instagram showing this, showing that, I don't got a perfect life either. And I want you to understand that just because all these rappers show all this money and show all this fame, don't think their life is good. It's not. These people are always faking and let you know that this is not what y'all want. Do something that's low-key. Do something that can help you out other than being a target or a flashy. Because God can take this away from you real quick, and it's not a blessing from God. And I tell people that 24/7, this is the devil's game. It is not. This is not no God's game. This right here is for you to look up to me. This right here for you to look up to me. This right here is for you to look up to me. If I don't wear this, you don't look up to me. If rappers don't do what they do, you won't look up to them.
And when everything else fails, the industry, according to this narrative, plays its final card: control through blackmail. Orlando Brown, much like Jaguar Wright, isn't presented here as merely speaking in vague terms anymore. He's naming names and promising that the dirtiest receipts, the kind that could destroy careers and bring entire empires down, are about to surface.
Meek Mill came out saying that he'll pay somebody $100 grand to investigate that he has nothing to do with anything with Diddy.
Man, look, you can't take back what your butt seed. That's just like the video that's coming out with him and Will. With Will Smith getting the Will Smith. You ain't heard the Will Smith footage?
Yeah.
All right, Will Smith. Then they got the Carl Winslow. Yeah, they got a lot, bro. There's a lot coming out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just keep it to you 1,000, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jaleel White was Reginald Bill Johnson for a very long time.
He wasn't just talking about corruption. He was talking about stars allegedly being sacrificed, their health destroyed, and a cycle of silence maintained through blackmail and disease. The most explosive claim of all is that A-list artists, rappers, singers, and even executives allegedly contracted HIV at these parties, and that their silence was bought not only with money, but with the threat of total ruin. According to the speaker, even lawyers are now appearing on camera, on the record, saying there is no stopping what is about to come out.
Do you think the videotapes will ever be released?
Do we live in America?
He said, do we live? There's a dog poop.
Because I will tell you, if you just pay attention to the testimony, there were videos on an iPad that the employees had access to, right? And you can't tell me, anyone who's watching this, they've been anywhere and something was going down and somebody said, hey man, give me a copy of that. Right?
Yep.
I mean, we can go back to the R. Kelly tape. That was VHS. Right. You know how hard it is to make a copy of a VHS? and it was probably 30 or 40 of them tapes in every neighborhood.
Right.
Right? Now we talking about digital. Now we talking about, hey man, airdrop me that video.
Right.
Right? Hey.
Spread like wildfire.
Exactly. Because I am pretty sure either through the dark web or through one-sided consent of some sort, it's going to be released.
This isn't framed as mere embarrassment. It's presented as a literal epidemic, a disease supposedly moving quietly through the highest levels of music and celebrity. Jaguar Wright also pulls back the curtain, in her view, on one of the industry's most suspicious deaths, Whitney Houston. The speaker points to the circumstances surrounding her final days. Ray J, suddenly immersed in Diddy's world and Clive Davis's inner circle, was reportedly the last person to see Whitney alive. There were alleged bruises, too many unanswered questions, and after her death, total silence. Ray J, the speaker says, never publicly addressed the speculation or the more disturbing details. According to Jaguar, the truth was darker still. An alleged note referencing an HIV diagnosis was not first read by Whitney's family or a doctor, but by Ray J's own sister.
That's how Clive did it. And then the next thing you know, she's Jay. And then it's Grammy time.
That happened.
And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobby Christina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the drug dealer in that gave her the shot. Leola Brown, Bobby Brown's sister, has said on several occasions that she was beaten. They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was beat up. And Brandy was the one that found her. But you know, they pledge allegiance to Clive too.
Jaguar suggests that Ray J witnessed the worst of it and stayed silent, ignoring testimony about Whitney's bruises and the circumstances surrounding her death. And that note about HIV, according to this narrative, wasn't simply buried. It was protected by people powerful enough to erase bodies, rumors, and even test results.
That note to Brandy. Brandy read the note, got scared, and went back and told her brother Ray J. I believe Ray J went back and told Diddy what was in that note, and I believe Diddy went and told Clive Davis. I believe Diddy told Ray J to go in that room and get her nice and comfortable, and when she's relaxed, give me a call.
If the truth about Whitney Houston's final days was too dangerous to speak aloud, then how many other stories are only one blackmail threat away from shaking the industry to its core? Now the speaker turns to what many people in the industry allegedly saw but pretended not to see. Sometimes the clues, they argue, are hidden in plain sight. No matter how much PR or money gets thrown at a story, the streets still talk. And Gene Deal, according to the speaker, made that clear.
Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike.
People noticed Meek Mill, the speaker says, moving differently, getting extra close, extra comfortable, and before long, the rumors began spreading. It wasn't just about what people saw on Instagram. It was about what they believed was really happening behind the scenes. Then, according to this account, The truth became harder to ignore at Diddy's infamous birthday party. Nobody in the room was confused by the energy. They saw it and they understood it. And once the details allegedly started leaking, even loyal industry figures could no longer keep a straight face. Since the legal pressure on Diddy intensified, Meek has reportedly gone quiet. And the rumor mill, according to the speaker, believes he's staying low, not just because of the federal attention, but because that party may have left him with far more than embarrassment.
Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife or his Diddy. Diddy had rented a mansion out for Meek Mill's birthday party, and he had rented it for like $25,000. I remember we rented one of Cher's mansion out, you know what I'm saying? And that's the day he had fired his cook, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Wolf, Mace, was Ock staying there? No, it was just me, Wolf, Mace, Puff, and there was one other person staying in the mansion. But anyway, long story short is that they came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the cocaine, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, giving in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow. They said it was disgusting the way that they left.
But the speaker argues that this system doesn't stop with rappers and moguls. It reaches comedians too. Orlando Brown adds more fuel to the fire by pointing directly at Kevin Hart's rapid rise and echoing what Cat Williams has been hinting at for years, that nobody reaches the top without getting their hands, or much more, dirty.
Exactly what Kevin Hart did in order to be where he's at. Now, I don't know if it was Kevin that pissed him off. I don't know who it was that pissed him off. But I do understand that the comedy world is nothing to play with. And since, Richard Pryor left us, God rest his soul, it's more like, everybody's trying to be Richard Pryor. And I can't put myself in position to not understand why some people just don't have the kind of respect for Cat that they should have. Kevin been pissing off a lot of people, comedically. You know what I'm saying? And I think that instead of trying to bash somebody that knows what they're talking about and bash somebody that has respect in the comedy world, I think that they need to look deeper into why is he letting this information go? Why is this information just now being released? Why, come on, why does his chain look bigger than any rappers that I've ever seen rap? Why, out of all the comedians, does he still have a $3 million mansion in Malibu? Why, out of every single comedian, does he still get picked on? But still looks like he's getting a check for nothing, just to sit on his couch, and everybody else look like, they're happy.
So now that the curtain is finally being torn open, ask yourself this. If so many icons are allegedly hiding the same disease and the same secrets, how much of the culture you love was built on silence and sacrifice? And with tapes, receipts, and confessions piling up day by day, who is really safe from exposure in an era where loyalty is dead and blackmail is business? The truth, the speaker says, isn't just coming, it's already here. Drop your thoughts below. Who do you think is next? And once every secret finally leaks, will there be anything left to believe in or left to protect? If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss any new uploads. Until then, fam, keep it real.